Yeah,
Welcome to the Dreams by Any Means Motivation Station. I'm your host, Ed Doxson. Today we are live here in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, Florida. We have a wonderful guest here, someone I met in 2023.
I think so. That
BPN?
sounds right. Yep, BPN, the annual conference.
Yep, 2023. So 2 years later, it's crazy. Time has flown by. Wow. So yeah, definitely happy to have you here today. We have Ashley, who is from the Eat Well. I'm saying it right. Eat Well Health
Eat Well Exchange.
I've been saying Health Exchange all day.
Well, when you think Eat Well, you think health.
Right.
But it's Ashley from Eat Well Exchange.
Yeah. So definitely happy for you to be here. So people who are listening that are subscribed to the podcast, this actually is the first guest I've had on since November.
Wow.
Yeah. So I kind of took a break. I've still been posting and doing like solo episodes. Those that are tuning in, we're doing the summer separation.
Okay.
I've been talking about just self-improvement, professional development, spiritual development, physical development, mental health, all those type of things. So it feels good to be back in the studio.
Yes.
I literally haven't had anybody on since November, almost a year. But I said I was going to get someone on for the end of the summer, so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's jump right into it. Tell the people about yourself, where you are from.
Okay.
Like what school you went to, all that good stuff.
Okay, so I'm from South Florida, Miami, Florida to be exact. Actually, Liberty City to be exact.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Liberty City, and I went to school, like college and everything. Okay, so I went to Florida State University.
Well, actually, started from there. Elementary, high school. Like you said, South Florida, so let people know, because
Yes. So my elementary school, I actually went to, my first school was in Hialeah. So
Okay.
South Hialeah Elementary.
Okay.
And then I went to Olinda Elementary.
Okay.
And South Miami Middle and High. I was actually in TV production magnet. So this is like very familiar
Okay,
to
it's
me,
normal.
this space. And then I went off to college at Florida State University. And I'm a first generation college student. So the first person in my family to go off to college.
Okay, solid.
After that, I did my master's at UNF.
Okay, cool. And before we jump into all the wonderful stuff you're doing, as far as just the health and the food equity and access, talk about how was your experience growing up in South Florida and Liberty City? What are some memories? What are some things you got into? What are some local things, the culture? Like people have been to South Beach, but a lot of people haven't been to Miami outside of South Beach. So talk about your upbringing.
So being from Miami, you're surrounded by so many cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that when you're here, you don't really take advantage of because it's just normal to you.
Yeah.
But once you travel to other places, even moving to Tallahassee to go to Florida State, there's not a lot of cultural foods there.
Right.
So like when you're in South Florida, you can be in Bahamas one day, Trinidad the next, Cuba, Nicaragua. You can go to any country pretty much by eating local cuisines here. So it's always great for the food scene. But then also when it comes to food access, that's why I started my work with Eat Well.
Right.
Just because in areas like Liberty City, you don't have a Publix. You don't have a Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to food access, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
But overall, when it comes to growing up in Miami, I love it. I love the culture, the experience, and just the people that are here.
And what year did you start Eat Well Exchange?
2007.
Okay, so almost on your 10-year anniversary. 2 more years. Okay, cool. And it started in 2007.
Wait, no, 2017.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 2007. You said 2007?
I said 2007.
Oh, okay. But that's why I said 10 years, but you said, okay.
I was like, no. I'm still in college.
Right. You was young.
So
2017. Okay.
Yes.
And, how was that process of starting that? Was it more so like, hey, this is the idea I always set on? Was it talking to people in my community, my family? Like, what brought together that, to bring it to life?
Ooh, the story. Okay. So both of my parents had diabetes growing up. So unfortunately, my mom passed away when I was in high school.
Sorry,
so that was like a big, that's tough to lose your parent, especially that young. And she died from complications of diabetes. So with that, that's something that's always been in my heart. Like, this shouldn't happen to anybody because I know the pain that I'm going through. Not went through, I'm going through. So because of that, anything I can do in my power to prevent that, I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So then years later, I met one of my girlfriends, Jasmine and Deidre. We all worked together in Tampa at the WIC program.
Okay.
And we were like, WIC is cool. And I worked for WIC for 10 years. So nothing against WIC, which is with the Department of Health. But we're like, we just need more.
Right.
So one day, Jazz and I, we were at brunch. And we were just girl talking about future things that we want to do.
Yeah.
And we both said how we wanted to travel the world, eat foods from all these different cultures, and use what other cultures are doing to help people be healthier.
Yeah.
And it's just brunch talk, mimosas on the table, flowing all vibes. And then Jasmine ended up meeting somebody. He was a pharmacist from the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
And she's talking to him like a week later. She's like, yeah, we got this nonprofit. We teach you how to eat healthy, cultural foods. So then he's like, bet, let's fly you guys out to Cayman Islands.
Right.
So Jazz calls me. She's like, oh, my God, we got our first booking. And I'm like, Jazz, this is great. But we don't have a nonprofit.
Right.
That was just a dream we had at brunch.
Yeah, to get it official.
So pretty much from that, we just got moving.
Okay.
We had to create a name. We had to do our nonprofit structure. We had to do all of those things. Shout out to my homegirl, Kanasha, because she helped me. I called her, like, legally, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
And then my sister, Joy, like, a lot of people came to, like, help us. But that's what really got us started with Eat Well. Just like that dream and then that opportunity and just springing us into action.
Okay. No, that's nice. That's good. Yeah. You mentioned, my condolences, your mom passed from diabetes. It's something that's big in the Black community, as we know. I know in my family is big. I have a friend actually who just got diagnosed with diabetes.
At how old?
He is 45 or 46,
right.
I want to say. So, yeah, even myself, when it's like, we follow each other on Instagram, people may always ask me, why I'm running, why I'm doing this, what's your goal? Are you on a diet? I'm like, yo, I'm just working
on live.
Yeah, longevity, live, keep the diabetes away, keep the strokes away. Like, I'm just trying to do that. It's not like, hey, yeah, I do want to, like, I'll be joking. I'm like, I'm not trying to, like, look like LL. If I can, I can. But that's not the end goal. But I'm trying to, like,
I'll take it.
Preserve, right. I'm trying to preserve my body. But speaking of that, so being in South Florida, one thing when I first moved here, there are many things I love about South Florida, right? But one of the things is the food.
Yes.
And it's not like, D.C., L.A., New York, all these places have food. But here, it's such a culture melting pot, literally, where you have the Jamaican cuisine, Haitian, Bahamian, American, soul food, seafood, Cuban food, whatever, you name it, right? So growing up here in those communities, talk about what Eat Well Exchange is doing to, I would say, pretty much, I would major in social work, and we talked about how, food is a part of culture.
Oh, yes.
Mac and cheese for us, ham, pork chop, ribs, all this stuff. And, like, how black folks are.
Right.
When you tell them you're not eating chicken, they laugh at you.
Right.
You eating healthy, eating salad, they laugh at you. So what has been your approach to, come in while still having that cultural competency, but pretty much trying to have that knowledge to those kids as well as those adults about, like, hey, we all do love our Thanksgiving food and chitlins and, all the stuff that's like, bro, this really not good for us. So
candy yams.
Yeah, just talk about that approach, that outreach of how you've been able to try to, change that mindset of, like, hey, we may can still do it, but we got to balance it out with some greens and some kales and some veggies and fruits and all that.
Right. Yeah, so if Eat Well Exchange, well, first off, I'm a registered dietitian. I don't think I mentioned that.
Yeah, okay.
So Eat Well Exchange, I'm a registered dietitian, and we teach communities to eat healthy with cultural foods. So that's the premise of what we do. So what we do is we go into a community, we provide nutrition education, we do cooking classes, so hands-on classes, and also education as well, and just teach people how we can take the foods you grew up eating and still be healthy.
Yeah.
So a perfect example is collard greens. Right. I love collard greens, but the way that my parents cooked it, you put the smoked meat, whether it was turkey neck bone, something, and then you cook that up. You put the greens in, you cook it for hours until your greens are like almost brown. You know what I mean? Like they're not green anymore. So simple things like that. Are collard greens bad? Are they killing us? No. It's the cooking method. So what I do now is I take onions, peppers, mushrooms, and some smoked paprika and cumin. Saute that instead of putting smoked neck bones. And this recipe is on our YouTube channel too at Eat Well Exchange. So if you want to check that out.
Yeah.
So, and then just cook it like that. Cook your greens 15 minutes. Add some apple cider vinegar to it, or you can add some red wine vinegar. Cook it a little bit longer, and then it's done.
Yeah.
We don't have to cook greens for 4 hours, but it's just something that traditionally we've been doing.
Right.
And this is important because our ancestors did what they had to do.
Right.
They were trying to survive, and we appreciate our ancestors, but we still want to acknowledge their efforts and their foods that they gave us, but do it in a way that's going to be better for our body and better for our soul.
Right. And that leads to my next question. This information is very passionate to me because I remember writing a paper talking about, like, if I could have any, policy impact on low-income communities, it was about having healthy food access. So to the point, like you mentioned, our ancestors, and to the point of helping those coming from some of those impoverished backgrounds, we all know it's expensive to eat healthy in America compared where, like, even myself as, an adult, a male, no kids, like, even myself, I'm like, all right, do I want to go get this $20 salad or smoothie, whatever it is, or do I want to go spend this $10 on this? So talk about how can a mother of 5 living in South Florida, single mom, maybe on, income assistance, and can't afford all the healthy things at Publix, what can she do to make sure herself and her kids are able to get access to that healthy food, but not go broke and be able to afford it?
Right. And that is where we really come in, because food access is a major issue, and also education.
Yeah.
So as a not so fun fact, just by putting a grocery store in a low income community, people won't eat healthier from that. So I mean, if I go to Liberty City where I grew up and I drop a Publix down there right now, people are going to go into that Publix and buy the same Flamin' Hots, Takis, and things you're buying from the corner store. So education, which is what we do, is what really comes in. So if you're a single parent or even someone like us that wants to eat healthy, what I recommend doing is eating more vegetables. So by adding more vegetables into all of your meals, that's going to help you eat healthier.
Okay.
The next thing is planning your meals.
Right.
Because some people, they want to be healthy. So you go to the grocery store, you spend $300 buying all these fruits and veggies. You can't eat that in a week.
It go bad.
So it's going to go bad.
It happened to me.
And now you're going to say, oh, it's too expensive to be healthy, because you went crazy and bought all this stuff.
Right.
So what I recommend doing is meal planning. So you don't have to prep all your meals for the week if that's not your style.
Okay.
But go through your pantries now. Find out what you have. Do you have spaghetti already in there? Do you have some ground beef or whatever kind of meat that you eat? Do you have some fish? What do you have? And then based off what you have, pair fruits and vegetables to go with those meals.
Right.
So that way you're only buying a couple of things compared to rebuying everything because you're excited and you want to be healthy. But I do want to let people know that you're not tripping.
Yeah.
It is hard.
It get a little expensive.
Especially in different communities, it's very hard. And it's by design.
Right.
Low-income communities have 2.5 times more fast food places than more higher-income communities. So we're being flooded by McDonald's, by Popeyes, by all these other restaurants. So you're seeing them every day right on your way home. Right. So it's easy. You're not seeing Publix and Whole Foods in healthier places.
Yeah. No, that's true. And the marketing, too. Like, they market them. You'll see the marketing of the Popeyes.
All day.
Or even our music, rappers and stuff rapping about Wingstop.
Yeah, yes.
I literally only went to Wingstop when I heard Ross kept talking about the
Shout out to
lemon
Ross.
pepper. That's why I went there. But, okay, no, that makes sense. So with that as well, you mentioned about the education. Do you all have a partnership with the school system, like Dade County schools or Broward County schools?
Well, we do a lot of programs throughout Dade County schools.
Okay.
We work with the Teen Talk program, which is incredible, led by Ruben Roberts. And that's a mental health program. Okay. So we provide cooking classes where the police from the local community can cook with the students.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we do yoga, too, with Teen Talk. And also they do facials and, mental health and finances and everything like that with that program.
Okay.
But we educate students in the school system. We also have programs with seniors, too, like our senior citizens. Because we know education comes at every level.
Right.
So if I'm teaching the kids one thing, and then you go home and your mom doesn't know how to cook, and then you got your Mima and your grandmas telling you all kind of other stuff, the education won't stick.
Right.
So we educate people at every level, so that way they're able to make those lifestyle changes.
Right. And what's also interesting to me about the access is that some of the stuff, because this is going to be my next question, was like, the access is like, we have access to healthy foods, right? But then it's like you'll be eating something, but then you'll hear, oh, it's a recall. Then you hear, oh, this actually isn't good for you. Yeah. Then you read it back and they'll say, oh, this actually has this ingredient, right? So a lot of times we talk about food farms, growing your own food. Right. Have you all looked into that as an option for help, educating people about how to grow their own food more? Because me personally now, I feel like that's the only way to know you know exactly what you're eating, because now everyone's healthy. And even McDonald's are like, oh, non-GMO nuggets, or oh, vegan this, or low-fat that, or the Impossible Burger. But then you read up on the Impossible Burger, it's like, this might be worse than a regular burger.
Right, and it's challenging. So I do tell people, not to believe the hype all the time when it comes to all of these claims. Do the best that you can with the knowledge that you have. That's what I recommend. Just because one day tomatoes are the best thing, the next day they're the worst.
Right.
Broccoli, cauliflower, same thing. So I tell people, don't go too crazy with those kind of things. Eat your veggies. But what we do instead is we partner with different local gardens and farms.
Okay.
So in Broward, there's Max Farm, which is a Jamaican woman-owned farm.
Okay.
And then also in Dunn's Overtown Farm, another Jamaican woman. Them Jamaican women getting it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much we partner with farms and gardens. And we do have a program coming up, actually. So it's called Rooted, which will be our garden-to-table program.
Nice.
Free for the community, free for families. So you can come out, learn how to grow your own foods, and then also learn how to cook those foods that you're growing, too.
Okay. Now, another question for me, and I know because this is very important. What has been the strategy or experience around getting the policy leaders, in South Florida on board with what you're doing, and not just what like your organization is doing, but just people that are working towards healthy food access, in low-income communities? Because I know that really is a major impact.
Right. And this may sound really simple, but invite them out.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are doing things in the community and they're like, oh, my council members don't care and my senators don't care. And it's like, have you ever invited them to an event?
Right.
Like, how are they magically going to just pop up and appear at your event?
Yeah.
There's so much going on. So I can say in Miami Gardens, we have had great success. We work with our councilwoman, Linda Julian. We work with Robert Stevens.
Shout out to them. Yeah.
Shout out to Reggie Leon, all of them.
Yeah.
Katrina Baskin, all of them are great folks. So either we've partnered with them. Linda Julian, she actually hosts a free community cooking class for us.
Oh, nice.
So she does that. Robert Stevens, every time he does like a health impact, he's like, all right, Ewell, come out here and do a demo. And Reggie Leon, of course, anything he does.
Yeah.
And Oliver Gilbert, how can I forget? Our commissioner, Oliver Gilbert. Yes. So they come out to our events. They support.
Yeah.
We tell them what we need. We tell them what's going on, and they show up. Mm-hmm. And I can say that they have done that. Other cities we tried, I'll be honest, and we haven't had that same result.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of like who you know and what they have going on.
Right.
But I just recommend to invite them out. And if they can't come, send them a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So like, hey, I know you couldn't make it to our class in the city of Miami, but this is what we're doing. Check this out.
Right.
Because they're busy. They're humans too.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend. And then just staying within your scope. Like, I know that I'm not a big, like, policy activist kind of person. It would be great if I was, but that's just not what I do.
Right.
So finding people that are, finding those lobbyists, finding those people that are more well-connected into, like, the government to advocate for us in that behalf, too. So reminding yourself that you don't have to do everything.
Right.
Connect with people who can.
Yeah, and I was going to say, just thinking about growth for your organization, that'll probably be something in the future. You may have a person designated specifically to government relations. You know what I mean? Me. No.
Please. Are you accepting this position? And this is recorded.
Right.
So you got to do it.
Yeah, but also, too, so just going to go back to the diabetes thing. So I did read about the diabetes prevention program.
Yes.
So could you touch on that a little bit more, what that is? Because I think that's great because, like they always say, to go saying prevention is better than cure. And I think sometimes, in my chat, we're very open. They say laugh to keep from crying. You got to sometimes joke with some of the stuff with black people. I was like, man, we wait till we like on our dying bed to be like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and lose this weight. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and stop eating this nasty food. So talk about that prevention program and what that entails.
Yeah, so when it comes to diabetes, I can tell you from me growing up, like I said, both my parents had diabetes. So I was told diabetes runs in your family.
Yes. We always hear stuff like
that.
That's
all I heard. So what does that mean to me? That means that no matter what I do, by the time that I hit 50, and this is my thought process growing up, I said, okay, bet. When I turn 50, I'm going to get diabetes because it's like an aging disease. That's what I thought. Because it runs in my family. My grandma had it too. My neighbors, like it's in my family. So that... Number one, makes us feel powerless.
Yeah.
Because if it runs in your family, that means it's bound to happen. It's nothing you can do.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're showing people that is not true. So for everybody listening, diabetes does not run in your family. You may have had family members with diabetes, but if you change your habits, you will not get diabetes.
Right.
So it's not as genetic as people make it seem.
Yeah.
It's not like a diabetes gene going through our body.
Right.
No.
Right.
What we're more predisposed to is what our family members do.
Yeah, behaviors as kids, you pick it up. I always tell you as a kid, like, we're not paying for our food. So what you, like me, certain things, I love banana pudding because my grandmother used to make it. So you're eating what, you're being fed.
Right. So if we change those habits, we can change our life.
Yeah.
So that's what the Prevent Diabetes program is all about. It's taking adults for a 6-week to 6-month cohort, depending on the program.
Okay. And
just educating them every other week so they learn about cooking, healthy foods, and also the nutrition education.
Okay.
And this program was actually started by the co-founder of Eat Well, Jasmine Westbrooks.
Okay.
So she
shout
does
it. Jasmine.
Yeah, shout out to Jazz. So she does that in North Carolina.
Okay.
And we've done it virtually as well. But this program is game changing. So in order to be diagnosed with diabetes, the blood value is called your A1C. So their A1Cs are decreasing in this program. So just in 3 to 6 months, decreasing A1Cs, losing weight. We just posted someone, she lost 60 pounds.
Oh, wow.
After doing that program.
Okay.
Because it's not a diet, and it's a very, I don't want wouldn't call it easy.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, if you name your favorite foods and I say, hey, you can eat those foods, you're going to eat those foods.
Right.
So when we meet people where they are and you eat the foods that are familiar to you, it's easier to keep a change going for the rest of your life compared to if I make you eat foods that you never had before and you don't know how to cook.
Right. Okay. And how has that experience been as far as like, I know you said 6 weeks to 6 months?
Right.
Yeah. So how's that experience been? Is it like a great, like I know someone lost weight, but is there like some people like is it like the first 2 weeks they're like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this? Or is it like everyone's just on board and like we're ready to go?
It depends. Some people are like, I got this, I'm in, I'm all in. But then other people are like, I've tried other things before and it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So why would this be different?
Yeah.
But we meet people where they are.
Yeah. And
everyone's goal is not to lose 60 pounds. Some people just want to be able to go up and down the staircase without feeling pain. Mm-hmm. So we try to meet people where they are with their goals, and that way we can show them, like, you don't have to make these drastic changes. Mm-hmm. Small changes and you're fine. But the best thing with all of our programs is community.
Right.
So it's like you're hanging out with your friend, with your family when you do a class with us.
And okay.
Right. So you don't feel like I'm at the doctor's office or I'm at a lab. It's like, no, I'm with my people.
Yeah.
So it kind of motivates you to come back and learn because you don't feel like that tense environment.
Okay. Cool. And another program I saw was Wellness Wednesdays, which is today is Monday, so is one this Wednesday, I'm assuming?
Well, we do that program in partnership with BCOM.
Okay.
So we go to local restaurants and we promote healthy food items.
Oh, nice.
So one that we did was Loha, which is located in Hollywood, Florida. Okay. So shout out to Loha.
I've heard of that before.
It's really good. It's actually a Haitian man-owned restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's
I think
really
I seen
good.
It on TikTok, too.
Yep. They do wraps and smoothies, everything.
Aloha. Okay. I'll try to check that out maybe tomorrow because I'm going to be in Hollywood tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Aloha, cool.
And then I can tell you some of my favorite programs too. Manger Pour Vie is one of my favorite.
Yeah, that's what I got right here. So funny, right? I didn't think I was going to pronounce it right.
So I helped you out.
I was going to say Manger Pour Vie. You said V, right? That's what you said?
Viv, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I was going to say Viv or something. I was going to mess it up. But I always, one of my coworkers, he's Haitian, so he always be speaking Creole around me. I be trying to imitate him. But yeah, okay, so Manger Pour Vie. Yeah, that's coming up on August 30th, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means eat to live. Mm-hmm. So that program goes with that same premise.
Manger Pour Vie.
Yep. So we're teaching Haitian families and anyone that wants to come how to eat traditional Haitian foods and still be healthy.
Yeah.
Because everybody that I talk to that's Haitian is always like, I can't eat my food and be healthy because it's too much this, it's too much that. Mm-hmm. But it's like, no, there's so much benefits in Haitian foods. Mm-hmm. And our instructor that teaches that class, she is a Haitian dietitian, Tamara. And that program is partnered with Layer Productions, which is a nonprofit in Little Haiti, ran by Fritz. So as you've seen, I'm dropping all these names and places because everything we do is community. Right. I never want anyone to think like Eat Well is Ashley moving around. No.
Yeah.
It's everybody around me that's building these programs and helping us because that's what it's all about. Like, I don't want to be the one to change the world. Like, I want to help people, help themselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and just going back to that, what are some of those healthy Haitian foods? Us being here in South Florida with such a heavy Haitian culture, even myself, like, I'm going to get some Haitian food today. I want to. But I'm saying when I first moved here, I didn't go to the Haitian spots because I felt like a lot of their food was beef and pork.
Right.
And I don't eat beef and pork. But then I know they have turkey. I know they have other things. Even like myself, it's a culture disconnect. Yeah. I went there, got mac and cheese. I went to my car. I'm like, what is this? It's not mac and cheese. It looked like pasta. Then I started eating. I was like, man, that's good.
I love Haitian mac and cheese.
Yeah, so talk about some of the healthy options that, people can indulge in that, love that Haitian cuisine.
Okay, so the main thing is portion size.
Okay.
So a lot of times when you go to any Haitian, Jamaican restaurant, any Caribbean restaurant.
Heavy rice.
Half the plate is like powdered rice.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. If you are eating it there, ask them to give you less rice. They're going to look at you crazy, but still, it's going to help you.
Yeah.
Because if they give you the rice, you're going to eat. Mm-hmm. So rice is important. It's a carbohydrate, but you just want a quarter of your plate to be rice.
Right.
And then when it comes to protein, you can choose the protein source you like. For me, I like lambi, which is conch.
Okay.
Or, you can do your stewed fish. You can do your turkey.
Right.
Or anything like that. Try to do more of like the grilled or baked methods compared to fried. Mm-hmm. And then we need some veggies, which is typically the hard part. Right. Because when you go to a lot of Caribbean places, it's just like cabbage.
That's it. And that cabbage be hit or miss. Sometimes miss. But some places it be good.
Yes. But a highlight to most Haitian dishes is pickles.
Okay.
So that's fermented vegetables.
Okay.
So it's chopped up cabbage, carrots, peppers, and that's used to kind of add some spice to the food. So instead of adding hot sauce, you'll add pickles, which is going to give you the probiotics from any fermented vegetable, and also it's going to give you spice without giving you additional sodium.
Okay, cool. So please tell me you're not saying too much of the black rice is bad?
Too much of any rice we don't want to have. Just a quarter of the plate.
Good. Oh my God.
It is very good. But portion size.
And what's the proper name? Because I know people say black
rice.
Right, but everyone says black rice. But I always get a Haitian person will correct you and say what it is.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that thing is good.
Right.
Man.
And like I mentioned, I'm not of Haitian descent, so if I pronounce anything wrong, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying.
Don't come for us.
Don't come for us. But with the program, like we said, we keep it authentic by having people that are from the community teach the class, so that way it's always that connection. And speaking of that, actually some of our instructors are people that have attended the program. Okay. So that's how we keep things going. It's not just, me and my team coming in and moving around. No, people that come to the class are like, I want to teach. So we sign them up and they can teach a class. Yeah. And then we have the dietitian who's like leading them along the way to make sure it's still evidence-based and nutritionally sound. But this program belongs to the community.
Yeah. And on that community piece, I was going to say, when I saw on the site, it talks about partnership. How can someone that's watching this wanting to become a partner, what are some of the steps they can take?
Yeah, so we partner, as you've heard throughout this podcast, with everybody. So if you're working for, let's say, a corporation or different organizations, Eat Well can come out and do a cooking class with you or a cooking demo. Okay. We bring everything, the burners, pots, pans, everything. Nice. And then also if you have a foundation, so someone listening can have a family foundation or they can work for one, you can reach out to donate to us. Okay. Because our programs, depending on the class, the Haitian culinary class costs about $2,500 per program. Okay. So we're using grants to pay for that. Okay. So some foundations have $30,000 they can just give us, and we can use that to fund some of our programming. And then anyone else who's listening, maybe you don't work for a corporation or have a family foundation, but you can volunteer with us. You can connect with us. We work with sororities, fraternities, churches, schools, all different kind of organizations, daycares, everybody. So no matter what, hit us up and find a way that we can work together because we're all about making an impact in the community. We want people to live. Yeah. That's my biggest thing. I want us to live long, healthy lives and still maintain our cultural foods and traditions, especially in this time. Yeah,
it's important. And that's something I've learned. You can do all the working out, but, if you just putting anything into your body, it's going to catch up with you.
It will.
Yeah, okay.
And then also, now, people are not getting diabetes at 50 anymore. They're getting diabetes in elementary school. Yeah. And that's not juvenile diabetes just because they're young. It's still type 2 diabetes that they're going to have for their whole life. Yeah. So for all the parents listening, do what you got to do. Yeah. And what I mean by that is don't feel like because your child is a kid, you could let them eat whatever they want and they'll burn it out. No. Right. At a young age, don't set your kids up for failure. Give them vegetables. They'll eat them. Yeah. Let them cook with you. When you bring a kid in the kitchen, they're 75% more likely to eat new foods. So do those things and then, make those changes for yourself too, which is usually the hardest. Right. And that's key because sticking with it too. Sticking with it and having people and friends that hold you accountable. Even the time we went walking together. So having friends that are not just happy hour friends, but friends that you can walk with or, go for a bike ride with as well. Yeah, agree. And I wanted to go back too, though. Could you break down the difference between type 1 and type 2 for people who don't know the difference between that? Sure. So type 1 is pretty much when your body is not producing insulin. So insulin is needed to take glucose, which is the broken down form of carbohydrates. So to take that glucose and put it into our cells. And this is a very simplified version. Right. So if you don't have insulin, usually that's something that you're born with, type 1 diabetes. That one's genetic. So some people find out when they're very young or usually by the age of 13, you find out you have type 1 diabetes. So that means when you eat food, your body's not releasing insulin that's putting that glucose into your cells. So type 2 diabetes is a little bit different. The way I see it, type 2 diabetes is you're stressing out your pancreas. Yeah. So your pancreas is going to release that insulin, which helps bring that glucose into your cell. So because we're eating, I don't want to say eating a lot of sugar, but sometimes not having a balanced diet, your pancreas is working so hard. And eventually when we work really hard, what do? Quit.
Yeah, burn out.
You're burnt out. You quit. So when we burn out our pancreas, it's all right, you're doing too much. Yeah. And then our body stops putting that insulin into our cells, so it causes diabetes. So that's the easiest way that I can describe it. Yeah. But one is more genetic. The other one is lifestyle from burnout of having unbalanced diets, having a lot of refined carbohydrates, and not eating enough protein and fiber.
Yeah. And now, once you get it, are you able to, like, it's gone, or it's just more you just learn how to manage it better?
Some people have what they call reversing diabetes, but typically it's damage that's happening to your pancreas, so it's really hard to really reverse that. Yeah. So what I recommend doing is, number one, going to the doctor. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, are not going to the doctor because you're paying out of pocket. Yeah. So go to the doctor annually. Mm-hmm. Find out your values and track them. Because for me personally, I've been to the doctor and my glucose was high when I was living in Tampa. And my doctor told me I was fine. They said, oh, you're fine. And I looked at the labs and I'm like, wait, but it's red. Is that okay? They're like, yeah. Maybe you just had some cake last night. And I was like, but I didn't. Right. You know, I had some salmon and veggies. So if it's high, that means my glucose is high. Mm-hmm. But they were so quick to just dismiss it. And I'm like, I have family history of diabetes. Like, why wouldn't you do anything further? That's a whole nother topic when it comes to us. Yeah. But you have to look at your values and track them. So what I do is every year I look back at my previous year. And now it's easier because we have like the charts on our phone. Then it was printed out. So I looked at my values and saw I was trending upwards. So every year my glucose was getting higher. Wow. So that means if they weren't saying anything, maybe the next year I would have had diabetes. Who knows? Wow, that's crazy. So look at your numbers, know where you stand, and see if you're trending upwards. Yeah. And do something about it. Mm-hmm. You know, reach out to a registered dietitian like us at Eat Well Exchange, or we can refer you to one if you're in a different city or state. But it's important to know your numbers, number one, and then start doing things about it, like eating more fruits and vegetables, walking. Yeah. Just going for a simple walk. I love it. I did 6 miles this morning. Amazing. That releases insulin. Yeah. So whenever you go for a walk after you eat, that's going to help your body release that insulin, which brings down that blood sugar level. So things that you think are simple are really not. It's more about having those healthy habits. Yeah. And I talked about this in the chat before, right? Is this true? Is there such thing as if you kind of like refrain from sugar for so long, that could have a negative effect on your body? I was told that before, like, oh, you're still supposed to have some type of sugar in your body. Correct. But not overdo it. Yes. So sugar is the basic form of carbohydrates. Every carbohydrate breaks down into sugar. Mm-hmm. So all fruits and vegetables have carbohydrates. Right. Bread, milk, carbs are everywhere. Beans, everything has carbs. So pretty much, well, not meat, but everything else has a lot of carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. So our brain only uses carbohydrates to function. Yeah. So that means technically if you did like a no-carb diet, your brain would not have fuel. Yeah. And actually a fun fact, the keto diet was actually only developed to help people that had severe seizures. Wow. Because it was trying to slow down your brain activity. Right, yeah. So now when you think about that and everybody doing keto, it's like, are you really trying to starve your brain out? Right, yeah. I don't want to do that. So a lot of times when people say no carbs, they just mean like no sugary foods, and that could be beneficial. But you always want to have your fruits, vegetables, and different forms of carbohydrates. Yeah. It's just more about balance. Yeah. Okay. No, thanks for breaking that down. Yeah, because I was told that one time, and it kind of makes sense because like if you don't have carbs in like your body, or like sometimes I fast in the morning, I'll go work out. Compared if I eat something that is carb packed and can give me that energy, you feel different. But it's true because like the keto diet, I know people that tried and it was like, nah, I felt like I was just losing my life. Like I was just weak. And you'll lose weight. And that's what I always tell people. Losing weight does not equal health. Right. Because you'll drop 50 pounds, but now you have headaches. And now it can lead to like a fatty liver and other conditions. Right. So not worth it. Okay. Yeah. And just shifting gears a little bit. So just getting a little deep. So I know you said you lost your mom to diabetes. So, how old do you say we're again? 14. 14. So, going through that as a child, would you say, and I'm just curious, were you the only one that was impacted by it in your family to like take it, what I always say in my podcast, pain to purpose? Like when I lost my best friend, he got killed at 15. That's like my passion to do community work with young men. So were you the only one impacted? Thank you. Were you the only one impacted by that where you started like, hey, I want to stop this movement? Or do you feel like everyone in the family has like learned from that as well? Everyone's doing things in different ways. Okay. I can say that. So we all have been impacted, but also, being a Black family, raised in Liberty City, grief was not handled properly. Because my grandma told me straight up, she said, do not talk to them people. She said when they come and talk to you, like therapists or people like grief counselors, she's like, don't tell them anything. Yeah. So she pretty much made me think that I would be taken out the house if they found out I was sad or grieving my mom. It was weird.
Yeah.
You know, my grandma, of course, was much older.
Right.
So it's like, you know, just that mindset. So a lot of us didn't grieve properly. I will say that. And that actually led to memory loss for me because I was not grieving properly.
Right.
So all of us, like in my family, were impacted severely. But it's just how we like dealt with different things.
Right.
But I can say, like for myself and my sister, who's actually the owner of CoSpace, a co-working space.
Yeah.
She's very
nice
big on
space.
community.
Yeah.
So she's big on teaching people like how we can work together, which is what we had to do. After losing our mom, we had to really lean into our community to help us since we didn't have like that, you know, parent to help us.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. And I guess I'm sure your mom would be proud of you.
Thank you.
And I love stories where people, you know, take a loss or something unfortunate that life hits us with and uses that to drive them. Because even me knowing you, but now learning that, like, I understand, you know, why you're very, like, you go hard with this stuff, you know, traveling
I had to.
in the community, marketing, like, nonstop. And I'm sure, like, as an entrepreneur, it's not easy, you know? It's not easy at all.
No, not at all. But I always think about, like, if I can just, I don't want to say save, but if I can impact one family member.
Yeah. And they could pass that down.
Right. Because like you said, losing my mom shifted everything for our family. And that happens. We're losing so much knowledge from families. We're losing so much history because we're losing family members early. So if we can keep us as healthy as possible, you know, that's going to keep that strength in our families and our generation.
Yeah. What's your long-term goal with Eat Well Exchange? Like, what is, you know, if you had any dollar amount, any access to any influencer or country, like what is the long-term goal that you see, you know, you taking this to?
Okay. A couple of different things. So with Eat Well Exchange, one kind of like immediate goal we're working on is having a teaching kitchen.
Okay.
So right now, I pile my car up. I have an SUV. I pile that thing up with burners, pots, pans, everything that we need and drive places.
Okay.
So we always want to be able to be mobile, but we would like a space, preferably, you know, Miami Gardens. And we'll put this out here. Maybe it happens. Who knows?
Yeah, put it in the
So
universe.
preferably like Miami Gardens to have a space where we can have a teaching kitchen. That's a area where people from the community can come, have their own, you know, kitchen counter, stove, everything like that, and learn how to cook along with us, a TV system where they can project and see everything going on. And we actually don't have any in South Florida that I know of, any teaching kitchens for the community.
Okay.
Only attached to like universities. So that's a goal. And then also just national and international programming. So right now we operate in Florida, in North Carolina. We've done some classes in Memphis, Tennessee as well. So just reaching other cities and having ambassadors in those states so that we can continue our programming in different places. And internationally, we went to Haiti before, which was incredible.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yes, but going to other countries too, going to Jamaica, going to Nicaragua, going to Peru, wherever, and just learning about those cultures and learning how we can be healthier from them, which is the exchange of Eat Well. So learning from them and then also teaching as well.
Right. Nice. I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, and last thing, I always ask every guest that comes on the podcast, we call this an any means moment. So, you know, that is dreams by any means. You'll probably see me hashtagging any means, that type of stuff. But an any means moment is pretty much, a moment in your life where, you know, your back was against the wall. You maybe felt like it was impossible to get a dream off the ground. Whatever. What is that moment you could think about that defined you? It could have been in college, could have been starting this organization, could have been anything. But talk to the people about what that moment was and, what you did to, get through that challenging time.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so I would say making the decision to do Eat Well full time. So just being transparent, we were not making money like that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have like a surplus of income saved or anything like that, but the demand was growing.
Yeah.
And then also my job, I just knew it was time to leave. I was working for the Department of Health for 10 years.
Okay.
And I did not want to go into administrative roles. So I was like, there's nowhere for me to grow here. My salary was not that high. Like, my salary was not a livable salary, even though I'm working for the state, which is crazy. Right. But I was
that's a whole nother podcast.
Right,
Florida don't pay.
A whole nother session on that. But, I was just like, I have to make this decision.
Yeah.
Am I going to continue to try to work for, another agency and do my nonprofit as a side hustle, or am I going to decide to lean all the way in and, like, really go for it? So things push you. And, I believe in God, and I believe that God was like, girl, you're not going to leave until I do something. And so things happened at my job that made me want to leave. But it was that moment where I remember quitting my job and just looking around like, what am I supposed to do now? But things really opened up, and I can say that. And I did have someone from Barry University, Alina.
Okay.
I remember she told me, she's like, you need to get contracts.
Yeah.
So from there, I was like, okay, cool. My sister and her husband, they supported me. They were like, if you need any help, we're going to hold you down.
We got you.
And we need that in our families, like, to really support each other. And then a lot of my girlfriends are entrepreneurs. So they were like, Ashley, we got you. So people were supporting me. People were reaching out, calling people on my behalf, not even knowing that I was doubting myself and struggling, but people were like reaching out to help me. And then I did the work too, because I don't want anyone to think that you can just like pray for something and sit home and it's going to come knock on your door. Like I was calling people, like calling parks. I was calling cities like, hey, do you guys need nutrition programming?
Right.
And then just being prepared.
Yeah.
I can say that. Like whenever I get an opportunity, by the end of that day, I'm sending you a proposal. I'm sending you pictures, YouTube videos, everything. Okay. So that way like it's legit.
Yeah, you gotta sell the whole mission, whole vision, everything.
Have your dreams, but then prepare for those dreams and be ready. Okay. So once the opportunity comes, you can really take off.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It was great learning more about, your passion, your mission. Any way I can support, definitely want to support. We'll talk more, offline about it, but I definitely love everything that you're doing. But definitely tell the people where to find you at, how to volunteer. I looked on the website, how to purchase merch, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so on every platform, we're Eat Well Exchange. Okay. So we do have a YouTube channel, which we have lots of cooking videos there. We have our Instagram as well. If you want to donate, everything is at eatwellexchange.org. Volunteer opportunities there as well.
Okay, cool. Well, you all know, like I always say, hustle plus faith equals success, and I'm going to catch you all on the next episode. Dreams by Any Means Motivation Station, where hustle plus faith equals success. Stay tuned for the next episode.